make a big sizzle, so y'all get ready. Hey y'all, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are making a good old-fashioned country supper, and we're going to share it with y'all. Okay everybody, this is what a country style southern supper looks like. We're going to have us some fried ham, some cream corn, some okra, some tomatoes, a few little cucumbers, and some fresh blueberries picked the week of 4th of July. Put me a little oil in this pan, and I'm going to start by frying up me a big slab of this ham, and that's what we're going to put our corn in to get it started. We're going to use the pan that we fry the ham in and keep the grease off of it to cook our cream corn. This one right here, like say we're using this piece right here because we're wanting the ones with the most fat to flavor our corn. So we're cooking probably a good half a piece in this iron skillet, just to add flavor to your cream corn. And while that's frying up, I'm going to go ahead and cut the rest of my ham. See all that good flavor that ham's putting in that skillet? Now that right there is going to make some good cream corn. And another little trick, whenever you're frying your ham and it starts curling up, you can take and see how I cut the fat on the edges, and that'll make that ham lay down real good, so it'll fry evenly and it lays in the pan better. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take this little bit of ham out. And I'm going to actually put a couple more pieces just to give me a little bit more oil in my pan off of that ham, because I want that corn to have that good flavor off of that ham. Now, did you see how that was like curled up? And as soon as I cut that little strip of fat down, it laid down flat. That way it'll cook evenly. Okay, I just took that ham out. Now I'm going to add my bag of cream corn. And this is fresh corn that Travis put up. And it's going to make a big sizzle, so y'all get ready. We're going to add the whole bag of corn in there. And we're going to add us about a teaspoon of salt. Us some water, and then to that you're going to add you some water. It's got to have a little bit more water in there to cook so it can start cooking down. But do you see all that good grease you got right there off of that ham? That's going to make some good cream corn, y'all. And then now we're just going to let that start cooking, and it'll take anywhere from like 30 minutes to maybe 45 minutes to get it good and tender and creamy. But we're going to go ahead now And when you're cooking cream corn, you have to constantly, just every once in a while, keep it stirred. Don't walk off and leave it, because it will scorch in a minute. And you don't want to scorch that corn after all that hard work you done putting it up. Just keep a check on it and don't let it burn. And over here I'm finishing my ham up because I didn't want to fry all of it in my skillet. I just needed a little bit for that corn. So now I've got to finish it up over here in this skillet. But a piece of fried country ham's hard to resist, y'all. Yeah, there's a lot of salt on it. Y'all just don't tell the doctor no time soon. Don't tell the doctor. Okay, while we have our ham and our corn cooking, I'm going to go ahead and slice us up a good old fresh tomato. Now you see how the corn is already changing color? And it's starting to cook. Frying ham makes a mess, but it sure is good, y'all. Don't be afraid to get your kitchen dirty. That's the only way you learn how to cook. A kitchen that's clean and spotless, pretty much, you know, they go out and eat. They don't do a bunch of cooking at home. Around here, my kitchen stays dirty because I'm always cooking something. You just have to clean it up as you go. Now we're fixing to get the ham out. That's about how brown I want it right there. Now, did y'all see how dirty that iron skillet was? When we fried that ham, just adding that little water and giving it a little scrub will get that right off of it. See how the cream is starting to come out of the corn? It's getting that white look to it. That's what you want. That's what makes your cream corn. I've already washed and let my okra dry. So now I'm going to start cutting my okra up. And this is how I like to cut it. Just in pieces about like that. And you want to get okra that ain't real big either. You want to keep them small like this. Not much bigger than this one. But we're going to get all this cut up, and then I'll show you how we're going to cook our okra. We got all our okra cut up and ready to go. Okay, now we're going to start with our okra. We've already got it cut, and while we're working on this, we're going to go ahead and add us some oil to our iron skillet. And let that be heating up. Probably about 3 tablespoons. And now to the okra, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to add about just a teaspoon maybe of oil. Not even that much. Just something that's going to help coat the okra. And to that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add about a teaspoon of salt. And a teaspoon of black pepper. This is the old-timey okra. It's like they used to call it pan-fried okra. Some people even called it scrambled okra. Travis calls it country okra. And the other okra is city okra. All right, now we're going to go ahead and I'm using some white lily cornmeal. And I'm going to add about a good 2 teaspoons of cornmeal. Just enough to coat it. And then I'm going to add a teaspoon of all-purpose flour. And now we're just going to give that a good mix and try to get all the okra just lightly coated. And I've got it in this other little pan up under my Tupperware dish. In case it falls out, I'm hoping it'll stay on my pan. But see, you're just barely putting a light coat is all you're trying to get. Just get your hands in there and work it good. And that'll help coat that okra where you put that little oil on it. But you're just wanting a real light coat. See how lightly coated it is? Y'all don't put your flour and your cornmeal up yet because you're going to need a little bit more as it starts to cook. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and add it to our iron skillet with our oil. And we're just going to let that start cooking down. And now we're going to just leave it there and check on the corn. See how it's just barely starting to turn brown? We're going to let it get a little bit brownish before we start turning it. Smells good up in here, y'all. And if y'all young people hadn't ever had cream corn and fried pan okra, y'all don't know what you're missing. You need to try to give it a try. Now see how much browner that's starting to get? Now we're going to mix it up a little bit. That way all of it gets some brown on it. We like sharing videos like this to let the younger people learn how to cook the way we used to cook. I know a lot of the older ones out there already know, but some of these young people watching these videos might not know all this. So it might give them some ideas on how to cook this stuff a different way. And y'all don't need to be scared of iron skillets. Get you some of them. They're the best things you can ever cook in. And this okra is the same as with the corn. You got to keep a close eye on it because you can't walk off and leave it because it will burn fast when this iron skillet is real good and hot. So just keep a close eye on it and don't let it scorch. But you do want to get it good and like tender and done. Just don't let it burn. Okay, now I'm going to take about another teaspoon of my flour. And then a teaspoon of my cornmeal. And just coat it real good. We're going to let that start browning good now before we turn it. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and give it a turn. See how that pretty golden crust? Ooh, that's hot. Well, that's what Travis calls country style okra. Now right here you could taste of it and see if you think it needs any more salt or black pepper. But mine has plenty, so for that amount of okra, that was enough salt. If you're cooking a lot more okra, you might want to add a little bit more salt and a little bit more black pepper. Here's the corn. This is how it turned out. I even snuck me a little piece of ham in it. But it got a good creamy texture to it, just the way I wanted it. Here is our country supper. We have country fried ham, a pretty sliced tomato, some cucumbers, cream corn, and fried pan okra. It's gonna be good, y'all. Thanks for watching our video on this country dinner. If you like our video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.